2. Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. Thank you for watching. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is...
Hey, Todd Mabel from Colorado. Outside of Estes Park, we actually got 8 inches of snow yesterday, so it's snowy out here.
It's a snow day for you.
It's a snow day.
Wow.
Yep.
But you know what? We have the perfect solution for a snow day, the perfect libation.
We do.
Wait till you see this, folks. We got these. I got mine yesterday. Okay. We are probably one of the first ones to have and dissect Codigo.
Yeah.
This is Codigo Mezcal.
Yeah.
We have never been able to get Codigo tequila, but this is a first. They reached out to us and we said, sure, send us the Mezcal. I had heard rumblings that and I don't know if George Strait is still involved, in the Mezcal side of things. I think he just kind of invested in it. But this is the box it came in. Bear with me. I'm gonna try not to drop the bottle, okay? Because it comes. Show them the glassware.
Yeah.
They're
They're nice glasses.
Yeah,
it's very subtle branding. Just got their little logo on the bottom of the glass, which
these are traditional mezcal drinking glasses, and they're probably a little bigger than what I'm used to seeing. In Spanish, they're called veladoras, because if you're Catholic, you know that you go into church and you light a candle, right? You have a whole rack of candles, and usually on the bottom you'll see a cross.
Yep.
They self-branded with their own logo. Yep. That's the Codigo logo.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool. It's really beautiful presentation.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. And it's the usual Codigo bottle, which is I'm very familiar with it, although it's got do you see the see-through branding on that?
I do like that. The guy in the background like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like the old vodka bottles used to have.
Yeah.
So
it's also I am actually approve of, I like the fact that on the back, we got the little cards on it too. But on the back, they tell you so much information about the Mezcal.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
I do too, because it makes it, now they have two, they have the 2 categories available. We only received, I believe this is the artisanal.
Yeah, that's what I got. Yep.
Okay, but they also have an ancestral.
Yeah.
Ancestral, that category means that no metal touches the plant.
Right.
So it's all like macerated by hand. This one is macerated with a taona. I believe I'm not even sure the quality of this one. They have they give you, we had really great information. They gave us, the difference between one and the other. So the artisanal this is a medley, I believe.
Right. Yeah. Yes, Badin and Tobala.
And I love medleys. They're calling it an ensemble. I refer to ensembles as 3 plants when they do the 3. But they're calling this an ensemble. So I'm going to call it, but I have to distinguish it for our categories, for our brand of promise. I have to distinguish it between 2 plants and 3 plants, because the 3rd plant makes a big difference.
Oh, for sure.
And what's the ABV on this one? I haven't even.
That's a great question. 42.2 times 84, a little over 84.
Okay, so it's coming in just above 80 proof.
Yeah.
Some of the it's not a gateway. I consider 80 proof a gateway.
Yeah.
In the Mezcal arena. This one comes in at 42. Which is the same, it's the same ABV as Dos Hombres, which we enjoyed. It was really well done. That's one of those celebrity brands you can actually stand behind and have and it's tasty. It's very well done. And we're also very familiar with the gentleman that helped guide Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul into finding their Mezcal. He is actually one of our contributors. Dr. Alvin Starkman.
Oh yeah,
was their guide in, and you have the book. so Todd has again expanded his palette. For those of you who haven't seen Todd. He's one of our latest graduate for the Consumer Catador course, but he is also a bourbon steward and a second level sommelier.
Yep.
So now he has decided he's going to go test his metal again, and decided to dive into mezcal. So yeah. This is a first for you and me. This is our first tasting of anything together on Sipping Off the Cuff, and it's his first time. We're going to try and dissect and see what we get with Codigo. So let's just pour the juice, taste it. Now that we've been,
open it up. I've been dying to open this. Haven't done it yet, but here goes.
Yeah, we normally break the seal on the bottles off camera, but the packaging was so pretty, we just had to. We just had to show it off. So I'm gonna pour mine in my Stasso Jarrito for tequila, for mezcal, and you have this handy dandy Glencairn. It really very much appreciate the information that they sent to us. Normally, very often we don't get anything. If I get a press release, maybe something online, that's cool. But this was really nice that they did that. And you notice that this is a tasting guide. So you place this in front of somebody, you put the veladoras, one here and one there, if you have both of the expressions. Very cool. Very cool.
I like the fact they have an ancestral. I've only ever tried one ancestral mezcal, and it was super cool.
Yeah, I love ancestrals. Send them to me if you guys are importing them. And we have tasted several of them on Sipping Off the Cuff. I'm a big fan of all that stuff, man. And different plants and the ensembles. There's so much creativity that you're not getting in a tequila.
Yeah.
It's been mainstreamed and dumbed down that it's almost like not a challenge anymore. The challenge is to find something different in a tequila.
Yes. Yeah. This is wow.
Tell me what you get. Tell me. Okay. Because I'm picking up more techniques with this. This guy's a master painter. I'm telling you.
There's all kind of the pepper in here. It's just like, woo, I love it.
Well, I'm familiar with some of the plants, the aromas from the plants, and this is very familiar to me.
Okay.
I really enjoy Tobolaz. I love Karwinskis also, but this is not one of those. This one's, and of course the Espadin. So it's bright on the nose.
Oh yeah, it's so aromatic. I mean, I was pouring, I could smell.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
As soon as you pop the cork, you can smell it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the first aroma you get is denser, and then as it opens up, it gets brighter, and the brightness, in my experience, comes from the Espadin. The denseness I get off the top is the Tobola. Some people call it gaminess, beefiness. Whatever your descriptor is, it's allowed. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a whole lot. Like I like you said, beefy. There's definitely like sniffing on a steak here.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the artisanal. I can only imagine that the ancestral is even deeper.
I mean, the citrus, and there's so much like a green pepper is coming right through. It's like just like, wow.
Now I'm not getting the paper or woodsy or fibrous aroma. There's no, even though I believe artisanal should also be just fermented with the fibers as well. So I mean, I think that's part. I'm pretty sure that's part of the process, but I'm not smelling any fibrousness.
No. It's interesting. It mentions that it's rested in the Sauvignon Blanc barrels, which is interesting. Yeah, that's what it says. It says
I know Codigo is.
Yeah,
Codigo
this one is too. It says it's rested in Sauvignon Blanc wine barrels from Napa Valley.
Seriously? Wait a minute. Excuse me, folks. Let me find out. Well, because I know that Codigo, they're Rosa and a few of the other ones are made that way. Distillation rested in Sauvignon Blanc wine barrels from Napa Valley, but it doesn't tell me how long.
No.
Now, are we getting any color from that? Because I don't see
any.
I don't see any color. I got beautiful legs and tears, folks. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be like, I'm going to guess not even 30 days. I mean, it's definitely not that long enough to be considered a repo. So,
well, wow, do I have to call this a Mezcal Suave? Because I do have a category called Blanco Suave, and that's a lunar rested, in fact, Inspiro is rested for 7 days, like give or take. And they call it a lunar rested. A Blanco Suave is rested longer, but they got to pull it out of the barrel before they have to call it a reposado. Usually it's, somewhere between 20 and 30 days. The legs and tears are gorgeous.
oh yeah,
they're not runny. They're just naturally clingy.
yeah, this thing is beautiful just to look at.
Yeah. But I don't see, that's the thing. I would see a tint. I would see something, but Inspiro doesn't have a tint either. So it leads me to believe that this is being rested not very long.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say that they're filtering out any colors.
Nope.
Because then that would make it something else.
Right.
I got to find another category of Blanco Cristalino. Come on.
Oh, don't even
No, that doesn't happen. See, what happens if they would filter this out? There is only one Mezcal Cristalino that I've ever had. And even with the filtering, it still kept the depth of the plant.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I don't even know how they did it. The brand is on the ropes, sadly, but they oh my gosh, that was amazing what they did with it. You want to dive in and see what else we got?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Oh wow. Oh wow. There's some smoke. I like that.
But the smoke is almost an afterthought. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. It's a polite smoke.
I don't even. That was my first pass, and I haven't put anything in my mouth since I brushed my teeth. Okay, so this is like my first pass. I will tell you that on the first pass, I had the brightness from the Espadin, the citrusy, the notes that I'm more familiar with in the Espadin, the brightness, and then on the back of the palate there was the denseness from the Tobola.
Yeah,
it was much more characteristic of the Tobola. So it's like as it worked its way past the palate, so did the plants, so did the medley. That I call this a medley. That they call it an ensemble because it's only 2 plants. We don't know what if it's 80-20, 50-50. We don't know what they're not giving us that. I'm going to go in again and see what else I'm getting here.
definitely like that. Some hay coming through there in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the fact like the smoke. It's a polite smoke. It comes in and it introduces itself very nicely afterwards. Like, by the way, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, and we've noticed that more and more of the really well-made, what people would consider moonshine, like raicillas and sotols, the smoke is an afterthought. However, as smoke will, if you're a cigar smoker like I am, smoke will eventually coat the palate. So the smoke is doing its job, because then all the aromas and flavors of the plant it's doing the same thing that a glycerin would normally do in a whiskey or a bourbon or even a tequila, right? It coats your palate so you have those flavors all the time. But the smoke does it, like you said, politely.
Yeah, it's very polite smoke.
Very polite smoke. What else are we getting? I know you're looking at your wheel. And because I'm telling you, this guy's the ultimate student. Oh my God, he could teach this. You're gonna do fine.
I'm definitely get some orange. Like that citrus is like, it's an orange is what I'm getting.
Well, see, and for me, it's more like a grapefruit.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay. And having lived in Texas for 8 years, you get that ruby red, grapefruit. You kind of get to know the difference between one and the other. But there's still a denseness. It works its way to the rear of the palate. Now the finish is long. It's a long finish.
Yeah, it's hanging out.
How does it feel on a snow day?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I'm just gonna sit and I'm relaxing. There's all like a salinity there too. I really like this. Like a little bit of a salt I'm picking up coming through.
Maybe like a brininess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that though. It's a really pleasant. It's kind of hanging out with the smoke. It's coming in towards the end, just like relaxing.
Well, let me ask you, because you're the wine guy too.
Yeah.
Are there any hints of wine?
I'm not getting it.
Could the brininess be part of that?
Oh, maybe, yeah. That could be.
Because
the minerality.
The minerality.
Yeah, it could be. That could be where it's coming from.
Yeah, because I have had brininess, in other mezcals that just happen naturally, or just from distillation, or from the hand of the maker, or the plant, or whatever. But because this is rested, why would they rest it to round off the edges? That's what you would normally do with a, and it's only 42 ABV.
Right.
So how much roundedness does it actually need?
Sure.
Because honestly, this is delicious the way it is.
It really is. I like it a lot.
But if your trademark is using the barrels, wouldn't you expect that the barrel would kind of show up somewhere?
You'd think so. I bet that's that mineral salty note that I'm getting, the stone, is how becoming the Sauvignon Blanc is pulling it out. It's got to be. That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because, and again, it's an afterthought.
Yeah.
And the smoke, you can't smell it on the nose. There was no smoke on the nose.
No,
none.
That's the thing. It's like when I opened it, so I've had other mezcals where the smoke just comes in and punches you in the face, and this doesn't. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm here, kind of a thing.
And I think that the smoke is too over. I don't even with the ancestral ones lately, smoke is a non-issue.
Right.
It's just not happening anymore. Maybe the first original batches, that you and I, cut our teeth on, with the worm in it. That was just like, it's like you're drinking fuel. It's just really bad. This stuff is really very well done. It's elegant.
Mm-hmm.
And by and large, the ones that we've had submitted to us are that way, even at higher ABVs. And from using other plants like raicillas, I'm still in love with raicillas and the differences that we're getting.
Yeah.
The hand of the maker, the way it's processed, how it's made, how it's distilled, if it's copper, if it's clay pots. The mezcals in clay pots are delicious. They taste like earth and like wet cement.
Yep.
And this was way brighter though. So it leads me to believe that the Espadín is probably more dominant. Maybe it's an 80-20, 70-30,
Yeah, I would get, I wouldn't be surprised just because Espadín is such a, it's like the primary agave that grows so fast.
Right.
Versus the Kabbalah. Man, this is a solid mezcal. Yeah.
Would you agree with me then that it is a Brand of Promise nominee?
I would.
Brand of Promise nominee. So, and I really would like to. I know we go kind of long in the tooth here, folks, but since Todd has such a trained palate, I keep looking for him to see what else he's pulling out, because there might be things that I'm missing. And having had a few of these now under our belts. At least 5 years of mezcal submissions to us for Brands of Promise, that and the different styles, the different categories, ancestral and artisanal. The primary breaking into the market has been artisanal. Ancestral is more expensive, usually higher alcohol by volumes, more authentic. I don't know about that. Even that, let's put it this way: more manually. There's more it's what's the word I'm looking for? Holy cow! There's a phrase we use all the time. There's a lot more labor intensive involved,
Right.
In an ancestral. So virtually you're taking away all machinery. With artisanal, I think shredders are still allowed, although I don't believe they're using the shredder, are they? They're using it.
It says crushed by Borough pulled Tahona.
Yeah.
So
But they're using a copper pot still.
They are.
And so, see, look at the ancestral has a clay pot.
Yep.
I want it.
I remember like reading about this because the three categories, you got the industrial, which they don't talk about, no one wants to talk about, the artisanal and the ancestral. I know the industrial, it's pretty much like you're basically making like a tequila, same process.
Right. Now, industrial, here's what it is. Industrial is made usually with blue agave, but it's made in Zacatecas. It's popular in the state of Zacatecas, and they cook it in autoclaves. It's rare. Right. Some of them, depending on the brand and the hand of the maker, some of them are still pit roasted. But the one that I'm thinking of that we've had submitted, we've only had one industrial submitted to us. It's delicious. It's as good as any tequila, and it's aged in barrels. It's blue agave, and they use autoclaves, no smoke, and it goes down really well. It came in at 80 proof, and it's good. It's well done. The only difference is it's from Zacatecas, and that's the denomination origin of Mezcal.
Right.
But in Zacatecas, there is a history. There's a historically documented where they've grown and made Mezcal from blue agave in that state.
Huh.
So they have a pedigree. They have a history of making it there. So, wow, the smoke is now finally coating my palate nicely.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got some eucalyptus in there too. I don't know if you got picked up on that.
Towards the
end, a bit of eucalyptus is in there for me.
No, I see. I don't know about eucalyptus. Maybe mint.
Oh yeah, maybe that's something
mint,
more
spearmint or peppermint or something like that. Yeah. There's really good lip numbness as well. When you hold it between your gum and your cheek, your lips. I'm willing to bet that whatever is at the tail end of this finish is the wine barrel.
That would make sense. So if it's just rested, it's going to be like the last little bit of.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, judging from the color, now this bottle is tinted and it's got bubbles in it. It's I don't know if it's recycled glass or not. I don't know the ins and outs of how they make their bottles, but it's got the nice hand blown bubble look to it.
And it definitely seems to be a thing. So I know their tequila bottles have the same.
Yeah, this is virtually the same bottle, except the label is a see-through label, so you can see that it's a mezcal. It's Codigo again. Wow. I wonder if they even tell us who the maker is. Avocado con madera de barrica de roble francés. Okay, so that is it's rested in French. It's and it's a French oak barrel, because Sauvignon Blanc wine barrels they're French, because so it's a French oak barrel that rested Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's an ensemble Maguey Espadin and Tobola Patatorum, 42 ABV, 100% Maguey, and it gives you everything you need to know. It's cónico de piedra, so it's a stone underground stone oven so it's not dirt, it's in stone, and it's copper pot stilled.
Yeah.
Now some of the notes here I'm not getting. It says floral, we got that.
Yep.
Vanilla, I didn't get any of those. It says cherry, earth, we got earth. Piedra, which is stone. You get, the la piedra, the tahona also lends a characteristic to the element. And they call it a stone, a piedra. Sometimes it appears as wet cement.
And
And clay, sometimes it's clay. Gentle smoke.
Yeah, we got that.
We got that.
The only
So,
thing
yeah.
I don't think we got on there was that wood, that light wood vanilla, because I didn't really get that.
Yeah, I didn't get it
The
either.
orange we got. The citrus we got for sure.
Yeah, now the one thing that they're not telling us also is the barrel that it is fermented in, because that does make a difference as well. Now we know artisanal and ancestral need to be, I believe they're open air fermentation, and I think they use the fibers as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how they're doing it. I have yet to see an artisanally made mezcal that's fermented in a stainless steel tank.
Right.
I've never seen that.
I don't think they can. I wouldn't think they'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that they would do that either. Especially, I think that's not allowed.
Sure.
Whereas the mezcal from Zacatecas is probably how they do it, and without the fibers, as a matter of fact.
So I just noticed something on our card here too. The artisanal, they don't tell you anything about the fermentation, but the ancestral says open air fermentation in hide.
In hide, okay.
In hide, yeah.
That is also a wow.
Yeah.
Cow in
I just saw that.
I want it so bad.
Right?
Well, because honestly, I have yet to have a mezcal that is fermented in hide. I know that they exist.
Sure.
I've never had one.
Me either.
I've had them fermented in, like I say, stainless steel. Zacatecas, that's how they do it. Without the fibers. I've had them, also mostly in the barrels, open air with fibers on top. That's how I've had it.
Sure.
And I've had clay pot distilled.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and Papalome, that is another plant.
Right.
That particular plant is very hard to get. I don't know why, because I've searched to try to get us some on Sipping Off the Cuff, have not been able to, but I want that one.
Yeah.
you and I have another date with
right?
Codigo. It is, folks. It's a brand of promise.
Sure is. It's good.
It's a brand of promise nominee. It's beautiful. It's delicious. I would say that. Do we have a price point? Have we even been able to get one?
I don't think we do, but it's worth the money.
Yeah, exactly. Go. Don't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Now, I wish the Codigo folks would actually send us their tequilas, because I have only had them at a show in the old Taco Fest in Arizona, where I've actually had samples. I've been soliciting to get samples forever.
There's something good. That was one of the ones I did for my course, the Codigo course, because I found like the little.
Yes, you did. You found they have the minis, which now they didn't have them then. I would still love to get the full bottle, because the full Monty, for what they're charging for their tequilas, you can send me full bottles, okay? Because you know what, you're going to charge the same thing for this mezcal, and probably more.
At least, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Thank you to the folks. They wrote us a really nice letter. The team Codigo wrote us a nice handwritten note in microscopic handprint. There's something. This guy is really deep, or gal is very detail oriented.
Very much so. I appreciated that.
That was very nice. So 1530 Codigo 1530 Mezcal, it is a brand of promise nominee. In that category, they're calling it ensemble. We call it a medley. It's two plants. It's delicious. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, or you're watching us on, maybe on Instagram, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you've had it before, what you're doing with it. I wouldn't put it in a cocktail, but you probably could.
I'm going to.
I know you are. They actually sent us, I think they sent us recipes, didn't they?
Maybe.
They sent us some really nice little information. And I believe that their Instagram does have cocktails to be made with it. I wouldn't do it, but that's just me. Now, I would say that this one has, if I were to compare it to other 42 ABVs, I think it's got way more character than you would think. Because they're not just using the espadín. I think El Silencio was one of the first ones that we ever tried. And that was that was an ensemble. That was 3 plants. They came in at 80 proof, and a really strong gateway with a lot of character. And this was right there.
Oh yeah,
This was right there.
this is super solid.
So
Really
anyway,
like it.
folks, that's our take on Codigo, the Mezcal version. So if you're watching us, thank you for first of all, subscribe. Okay, hit the notification bell. Give us a like, because that does help with the algorithm, because the world revolves around the algorithm. And if you've had it before, leave us a comment. Okay, tell us what you're doing with it, how much you paid for it, where you're buying it, where you're finding it, because this is like brand new on the market. Okay. And they actually reached out to us, which is really nice. Thank you to the folks at Codigo. And hey man, whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Got my hat.
There you go.
I just went, damn it, the hat.
Tomar sabiamente. You say,
All right, thanks everybody.
no, you say sip wisely.
Oh, sip wisely. Whoops.